During my run this morning, I came to one conclusion that the South African Police Service is a criminal syndicate because of the way they operate. And I'm just going to break it down into 5 sections. The first one is just looking at how Ekurhuleni is run, from the EMPD to the Zamazama prom that we have in Ekurhuleni. The first thing that you notice is that in every major operation that has to do with Zamazamas, law enforcement is involved, either in the form of SAPS or in the form of EMPD. So we'll never get rid of the Zamazamas until we can get rid of the people that are involved there from the SAPS and EMPD. So they're enabling the illegal mining problem themselves. And the killing of Marius van Merwe is a confirmation that the minute you have a syndicate running in our SAPS or Metro Police departments, they're going to start killing each other. And then anybody who is a law-abiding citizen or a law enforcement person who is there to actually solve the problem is going to get eliminated immediately. So for as long as you're a good citizen and a good policeman or metro policeman, they are going to get rid of you because they are part of a syndicate, and anything that's going to come in between them and their income has to be eliminated. So number 2 is the Zamazamas. We have a serious illegal mining problem in our country. And then let me tell you something. I feel for those people whose houses are next to those mining shafts because their lives will never be the same again. We have people that have come into our country illegally, armed to the teeth. There's illegal mining Zamazama gangs out there. And they're even fighting for territory. So you have a situation where illegal people have come into our country, armed, fighting for territory in our own country and digging our mines that are supposed to be closed a long time ago. And I don't even know what the Minister of Mining is doing about it, because just by looking at him, Kwete Mantashe, I don't think anybody can expect a solution from him. He's a useless minister and he's actually part of the syndicate. You look me in the eye and tell me that Kwete Mantashe can do anything positive. You just look at him, he's an old man who's got no idea what he's doing. And he's part of this syndicate because he's doing nothing to stop it. So the whole Zamazama thing with gangsterism and gangs involved in there is a criminal syndicate, including the SAPS members. They only show up when the media is there. They do PR exercises here and there for a couple of weeks. They're going to be doing Operation Balumkoti. Number 3 is the licensing department. Guys, I've got 2 cases that I've taken through the licensing department. You get excited. My child is growing up. I'm going to take my child to get a driver's license. The minute you start engaging with driving schools, extortion starts right there. Now, all of a sudden, you need to pay this guy and look after that guy so that you can get a pass. Why is that? Everybody knows that in the licensing department, the minute you are in that queue, somebody is going to be breathing down your neck and asking you to pay them a bribe to make sure that something happens. The whole country knows about the corruption that goes on in the licensing department, except for the SAPS and the Metro Police that are also part of the licensing department. There's serious corruption that goes on in there. We get extorted left, right, and center every time we want to get something done. How many cars are on the road that are not even roadworthy? They don't even have to go through the roadworthy certificate process. They just make a call and somebody manipulates the system and something is printed. The licensing department is so rotten to the core, but then law enforcement agencies do nothing about it because they're part of the problem. So Home Affairs, this is the worst of the worst. I mean, since 1994, how many times have they downgraded our passport because our passport keeps showing up at international airports with people that are not even South African? So our South African passport has been contaminated by corruption because we have officials at Home Affairs who are selling our country and then selling our passports to people that don't deserve it. And how long has this thing been going on? It's been going on for years. Home Affairs is like the center of corruption. Fake IDs, fake asylum papers, fake everything. Selling our country on a daily basis, selling our country for lunch. Where's your pride, man? So everybody knows the Home Affairs is rotten to the core. Everybody knows that people go through our borders and just because they paid a bribe. Everybody has seen those buses that are not roadworthy. People have seen people driving on our roads going to cross the border with loads that you look at and think, how did that go past the roadblock? Because they paid a bribe to get on the road and continue on their journey. And how many people they kill, those law enforcement agencies don't give a damn because they're part of a syndicate. So the fifth one is the cash in transit crime that we see. I mean, this year alone, I think from my memory, I can count about 5 cash in transit highs that I've seen in Gauteng alone. So you're telling me that there's no crime intelligence, there's no collection of intelligence about when, how, what time it's going to happen? Are you telling me there's no form of police work that is happening to make sure they can stop it before they happen? I mean, cash in transits are very violent. I mean, you see cars on fire and people dying in this cash in transit heist, but the police, for some reason, have no idea how to stop it. It's like when you're living in a drug problem area, like Rosettenville or El Dorado Park or places where drug crimes are rampant. Everybody in the community knows where the drugs are sold. Even the 8-year-old down the road knows that at house number 42, the blue house, that's where they sell drugs. But the police have no idea. But for some strange reason, you see the police car parked there once in a while and wondering, what are they doing there? So we have a situation where our South African police service are part of the problem. They are the ones who are actually involved in crime. So how do you expect crime to go down when the people who are supposed to chase down criminals are the criminals themselves? So the whole thing is a syndicate. And so we have government departments that are criminal syndicates, from the licensing department to home affairs and law enforcement. Criminal syndicates. Anyway, those are my thoughts this morning. Please subscribe and join the Heartful membership. Until then, stay safe.